Hi there, I'm Will Richardson from Jackson Kayak, and today I'm going to run you through the 2023 Blue Sky Boatworks 360 Pro. Every season we make a few changes to our boats, mostly improvements in order to make them better for you. The 2023 Blue Sky Boatworks 360 Pro is no different. Let me run you through a few of those changes, and then we're just going to do a quick bow to stern overview of the entire boat. The first thing I want you to notice is that we have beefed up the gaskets in the hatch for 2023. We did receive your feedback that some people's hatches were a little bit leaky, and so we beefed those up. If you have one of the older hatches without the better gaskets, you can find replacements on our store. Very easy for you to replace. The second and possibly biggest change that we made to the Blue Sky 360 Pro is we've removed the Yak Power system. The biggest thing that we heard from you is that you really didn't need it and that you'd prefer to rig it yourself. If you have a very early edition of the 360 Pro, you may still have one of the plastic rudders. We've swapped that out for a much more rigid aluminum rudder, and if you do want to replace your plastic rudder, we have those available on the store. Now what I'm going to do is run you through the boat from bow to stern in case you're unfamiliar with the 360 Pro. The 360 Pro was designed for anglers that wanted to mount a motor, not mess with paddles or pedals. They wanted motors and motorization right off the top. With that in mind, the front porch is designed for a bow-mounted trolling motor. The transom mount for a motor is movable to the front or the back of the boat. If you need a second transom mount, you can find those on our store. This allows you maximum optimization for where you want your motor, the type of motor you want, and where you want to mount it. As we move back, you're going to see these 4 standoffs. That's to give you maximum amount of rigging options, and you're going to see 4 pre-installed wiring pass-throughs on the 4 corners of the center stage. Next up, 4 huge hatches, and the 360 Pro comes with 2 hatch bins just so you can keep your stuff in there and it doesn't roll around inside the boat. Nice, comfortable deck pad. Moving back, what we're known for is this super comfortable swivel seat. The difference between the Pro and the Angler model is that you're not going to see the steering mechanism here. And the reason why there's no steering mechanism is because the rudder is fixed mounted in the back, and that's to keep you running straight when you're using a trolling motor. Everything else, exactly the same. Seat goes up and down, super comfortable, and will swivel into the position you want. Easy to stand, easy to move around the boat. Just behind the seat, you're going to find 2 tie downs. This is a great place for you to mount your cooler and strap it down. In the center of the boat, you're going to find these 2 nice big grab handles that have gear track. There's 2 tie downs on the front and tons more gear track for any track mounted accessory. Behind that, you're going to find the smart battery power box. This does have a couple of ways to plug in different electronics and a charge indicator on it. Moving back, you're going to see more gear track on the boat. The back porch, yeah, you can stand on this, it's stable enough. And the rudder. The rudder does go up and down depending on your needs. Finally, on the back of the boat, you're going to find the 4-bolt pattern mounting bracket. This can be used for a power pole or any one of our accessories that uses that 4-bolt pattern. Of course, you got a couple of drain plugs on the back. That's to get the water out of the pontoons. And you have these 2 grab handles, which make it easy to lift and get into the back of your truck. A signature feature on any Blue Sky boat is the retractable wheel system, and the 360 Pro is no different. These wheels easily lift up and get out of the way when you're on the water, or come down in order for you to roll it and get it into the back of your truck. And that is a quick rundown of most of the features of the Blue Sky Boatworks 360 Pro, available at a Jackson Kayak dealer near you. And me, well, I'm ready to hit the water.
Moken 10 PDL is the latest addition to the Moken series of kayaks, and the first to introduce a pedal drive system. The Moken family has long been a fan favorite for those who love to paddle, but with the addition of the rapid pedal drive system, it gives you all the benefits of the Moken 10 with the speed and efficiency of a pedal drive kayak. As we take a look here at the Moken 10 PDL, you'll see we've got our molded-in handle in the front, and gone is the front storage area to make room for the star of the show here, the rapid pedal drive system. The rapid pedal drive is super efficient. It's a chain-driven pedal drive. It's super easy. It's one latch here that holds it in place, and it's also quick to deploy and take out if you're going to store it away from your kayak or when you're traveling to and from the water. The cockpit of the Moken 10 PDL starts with some Unitrack accessory rails here for utilizing Unitrack accessory plates to customize the kayak with fish finders or cup holders or anything like that that you would like to add. There are some molded-in channels in the floor that funnel water towards the scupper holes and away from the seating area, just in case you get a little wet out there on the water. There are also some foam inserts here on the deck to kind of give a little bit of a design to the deck of the boat and give you a little bit of comfort if you are going to stand and try to fish out of this kayak. We've got the rapid steering system here as well. That's attached to the oversized beaver tail rudder in the back, which is really efficient at moving a 10-foot kayak while you're out on the water. The Easy Rider seat is a lawn chair style seat, very comfortable, especially for long days out on the water. And there's a series of molded in channels here so that you can really fine tune the position of the seat to your liking. On the sides, we've got a paddle keeper over here as well as the uphaul cord for that beaver tail rudder. And again, pretty roomy for a 10-foot boat. There's room underneath to slide some tackle if you're going fishing. Just a lot of room to kind of spread out on such a small footprint of a boat. Finally, as we move into the rear of the Moken 10 PDL, we've got a couple of flush-mounted rod holders here to store your rods with some leashes to keep everything secure. We've got a quarter-turn hatch here as well that will give you access to the inside of the kayak if you need to do so. A couple more of those Unitrack rails here and some bungees to keep everything secure here in the rear tank well. Plenty of room back here for a feel-free crate bag or a cooler, and some scupper holes again to help any water that may get back here drain out. We've got an additional handle here which helps you move the boat around or get it up on top of your car. There's that beaver tail rudder again, and of course in the back, like there is on all of our feel-free kayaks, the patented wheel in the keel. Whether you're looking to pedal for enjoyment, fish for trophies, or just looking for a smaller pedal kayak for transportation and storage, check out the small but mighty Moken 10 PDL.
Malibu pedal is 12 feet long. It weighs 105 pounds with the PDL drive and seat installed and has a usable capacity of 345 pounds. Power the Malibu pedal with your feet, keeping your hands free for holding a cold drink, a camera, or a fishing rod. Adjust the seat to suit your leg length, then pedal forward to go forward and backwards to reverse. The patented low-maintenance PDL drive with easy docking system is covered by an industry-leading 5-year PDL drive warranty. A hand-operated rudder keeps you on track. The comfortable, adjustable, and breathable Element Beach seat with convenient storage pocket keeps you dry and comfortable all day. The Malibu Pedal features a spacious stern tank well that accommodates coolers, gear, or anything else you need on the water. And if you love to fish, the Malibu Pedal includes 3 flush mount rod holders, 2 behind the seat and 1 forward facing, making this a perfect pedal kayak for do-it-all adventures. And the Malibu Pedal features 2 18-inch accessory tracks on either side of the cockpit for easy customization and rigging. The Malibu Pedal comes in 3 great colors: Sunrise, Sea Glass, and Ahi.
Perception hang time is actually best summarized with an interesting phrase that says it's not always about the journey, and sometimes it really is about the destination. This is a completely different kayak by Perception. It has many of the quality and performance benefits that paddlers are used to from Perception, but it's designed for an experience once you've reached your destination. The hang time is for anyone wanting a quality and performance kayak, but also wants something completely different and enjoys the more relaxing and social parts of being on water. So it can basically be a beginner kayak, and it could also be a kayak that an avid paddler adds to their existing fleet. What makes this kayak different is the fact that it focuses on the experience, not just the performance. The entire kayak focuses and centers on socializing with comfort. The first thing you'll notice is that it has a reclining seat back with a padded headrest that allows you to relax comfortably when you're on the water. Secondly, there is ample space on the deck, especially at the front, for you to stretch your legs once you're taking a break from paddling. One of the parts that's probably the most fun for paddlers is the stern of the kayak, where there is a padded seat. Best part is that you'll be able to dip your feet, your legs into the water while enjoying your friends or enjoying a beverage. Another thing to know about the hang time is that it has a capacity of 350 pounds. So what that means is when you're close to shore, you're not paddling anymore, you can have a dog or perhaps a kid come by, hop on the kayak, sit on the stern seat, and enjoy some time with them. Other features of this kayak that people will enjoy are the comfort that you have when you are actually paddling this high quality kayak. It tracks extremely well, is made with durable materials and a design that allows it to perform like other kayaks from Perception. We recommend a number of accessories to go along with the Perception hang time. First, you can pick from a wide range of models and colors when it comes to your kayak paddle from the Perception line. We also always recommend that you have a personal flotation device for every person that uses this kayak. You can also consider waterproof dry bags to take with you every time you go out there. And finally, you might want to consider a kayak cart to help you transport it to the nearest body of water.
I'm here on my favorite bass lake with the Mirage Lynx. I've just rigged this kayak out for freshwater bass fishing, just the way I like it. Up front, I've got a Ram wedge mount in the sail mast receiver that's factory integrated into this hole. And then I've got a double socket and a GoPro mount on that, which my GoPro's sitting on for a front on angle. For the nice over the shoulder angle, I've got a Ram camera boom with a track node on it that's going right into the integrated patented Ram hand track that's built into the H-Rail kit that I've outfitted this boat with. The nice thing that I like about the H-Rail kit is that you've got this integrated track as well as the capacity to mount H-Rail accessories to it. So I've actually done a combination of both things, and one of the reasons that I've done that is that I've actually run the fish finder cables into the track and up front to where my fish finder head unit sits. And then I've clamped a couple H-rail clamps right around that to keep everything in place. The fish finder cable's then at the back of the seat frame. I'm using the bungee keeper that goes over the back of the seat frame, and I'm also going over the cables and to the latch on the back of the seat frame to keep that cable from sliding around. The Mirage Lynx is such a stealthy platform that it has incredible glide. When you see a target up ahead, you kind of want to plan in advance, which actually works to your advantage. You get prepared to cast at an area before you actually get there without spooking the fish. So if you see a juicy area that you want to work with your lure, go ahead and power pull down, and you can actually stop pedaling quite far in advance, glide up just within casting range, power pull down, make that perfect cast. On the left-hand side of my kayak, I've mounted 2 Ram rollerball paddle clips. My paddle stashes there and it stays pretty low to the deck. I like to keep that side of the kayak open for landing fish. I've also got the new Ram Adaptapost H-rail base on the H-rail with a Ram Tough Tube rod holder. A lot of times when I land a fish, I'll stick a rod right in that rod holder there, and since I'm landing the fish on the left-hand side of the boat, it makes sense to be positioned on the left-hand side of the boat just after my seat stays out of my casting area, out of my landing area. But when I've got that fish on board, I stick the rod in it, I can take the hook out of the fish's mouth and get a safe release on the fish, and that works out really well for me. If you were left-handed, you might think about swapping everything to the right-hand side of the boat, and that might work better for you. Don't forget to stay hydrated on the water. For that reason, I've got my 40-ounce water bottle in the Hobie track-mounted cup holder right there, and I've got my H-rail mini bin with my tools and my VHF radio so I can stay in communication with my buddies on the water. Right behind the seat, I've got a Vantage Seat accessory bag on my crate, and then I've actually got all the rod holders on my crate on the left-hand side of my crate to keep my casting lane clear. I'm a right-handed caster, so for 70% of the casts I'm making throughout the day, the rods sitting on the left-hand side of the crate really open up my casting lane. The Nocqua lithium fish finder battery is actually sitting inside the pouch that's part of the back of the seat here. So that's a really handy way to house that battery. Very lightweight lithium battery. You could also strap that battery up around the H-rail or around the ram ball that your head unit's sitting on, but this is just the way I like to do it. This morning I had the H-bar rigged up, kind of was getting familiar with the body of water for today and wanted to be able to stand up and down a lot. That H-bar helped me get up and down from my seat probably 100 times, and it didn't fatigue me at all. When the weather's really hot, and especially if you have some conditions you're battling, it helps to have that H-bar for some standing support, just to take a little bit of the fatigue off of your body and allow you to balance a little bit easier with your eyes on the horizon, making those critical casts that you want to make. Your Mirage Lynx is going to come standard with a Mirage Drive 180 with standard length kick-up fins. Because of the lightweightness of the hull and the fact that this hull sits pretty proud and up on top of the water, I find that it performs really well with the standard fins. For even more power and responsiveness out of your Mirage Drive 180, you can add turbo length fins to this drive. Simply swap out the standard length fins for the kick-up turbos, and you've got ultimate power and performance out of your Mirage Drive. One last touch that I like to add to all my fishing kayaks is an EVA deck pad kit. On this Mirage Lynx, since I'm moving around the deck quite a bit, it's really stable even as you move far forward toward the bow. I like to keep things quiet, and that EVA deck pad kit really helps with that and adds to the stealth factor of this kayak, which is a big attribute to this particular model. Overall, I'm really excited about fishing this Mirage Lynx more, and I really am enjoying it as a fishing platform. I like the aspect that you can keep it simply rigged for a quick outing and easy travel, or fully rig it to the nines for any kind of fishing that you like.
The Coosa X is next in our evolution of the perfect river fishing kayak. Years ago, we started with the Coosa, which was a wonderful boat, great on the river. Moved into the Coosa HD, which just elevated even more. To me, now we have the perfect craft. When you're looking for the perfect river fishing vessel, you want something that's going to be maneuverable enough to handle current. It's going to ride up over the current, allow you to cross it. If you're in mild white water, you'll be able to fish through those areas and stop and fish below those areas where the fish like to congregate. You want something that's going to be simple enough to paddle from place to place, because sometimes that water is going to be still between those moving areas. So it has to track decent, but you also want it to be able to shake and bake when it needs to. Specifications are 11 foot 8 inches long, 36 inches wide. She's right at 95 pounds and the capacity is about 400 pounds. Now let's take a look at her from bow to stern. Starting at the bow, we've got, just like all Jackson kayaks, we've got the high-vis safety flag. Got an ergonomic handle, which is very comfortable on your hand after a long day on the water. It's got track on both sides of the bow, which is going to allow you to mount anchor line management accessories, but it also leads back into this molded in geometry that Jackson's coming out with for a new accessory to allow us to run our anchor line inside of the boat. It's an anchor line tube management system, so it'll keep that line off of your deck and away from your fish hooks. This flat area on the bow is going to allow you the possibility of a bow mounted trolling motor on the boat. On both sides of the bow hatch, we have security bars. And that way, if you didn't have enough room in the bow hatch for whatever reason, you could add more gear here. Say you were going camping, you could strap everything down using these security bars and it would stay safe and secure. There's a flat surface for stacking stuff up. There's also a rubberized strap, the paddle retention strap, which is really good because it keeps your paddle from blowing out on a windy day. The hatch is gigantic. You could put days worth of gear down in it. It's awesome for camera bags, especially if you're running moving water. Now I will say, personal experience through multiple class 2s and class 3s with camera bags in here, the lip on this kept everything totally dry. It's a huge tank well, tons of room, and it was dry. That was a positive. And you can store fishing rods in here as well for travel or whatever you need to. It's very easy to get them in and out. The entire bow of this boat was designed for moving water, from the geometry to the top. This groove around here is going to allow it to shed water quickly, and the sheer volume of it is going to allow you to punch through, up, and over a wave. You're not going to just ride the wave, you're going to dominate it. So moving into the cockpit area of the boat, you see the rear geometry for the anchor line management system. You also see the rod tubes, which you could see when I had the hatch open as well. This will allow you to put conventional rigs up to 7 foot 9 inches long, or on a fly rod, if you go back to the tank well, a 9-footer will fit in there. You have the JK stand and assist strap. And then moving back, you see the brand new foot pegs. And these allow for forward and aft movement. Now, if you're a fly angler, I would change these to a low profile, but there's nothing else to grab a fly line on here. What you see is the foot peg geometry allows it to open up the sides so you can use the rod management system. You'll notice the wide open floor has extra deep corrugated molding. This allows for water to run off very quickly, as well as adding rigidity to the standing surface. It's got a nice padded surface, and these open areas are perfect for placing camera bags, extra tackle bags, anything that you need. And down the center, you'll notice a couple pad eyes, which allow you to secure your transducer cables going back and forth to the transducer scupper. Running down both sides of the cockpit is the Jackson Tri-Track system, which features the Yak Attack top loading ability, so it's endless possibilities for accessorization. On that side, you'll see the new accessory, the JK paddle clips, which will come with the boat. Moving back to the cockpit on the Coosa X, you'll see that it features the JK EZ high-low seat slider system. This allows you to move it fore and aft on the tracks so that you can trim the attitude of the boat. That way, if you want it to track a little bit better, or if you want to raise your bow, if you get a little bit more buck wild in that whitewater. Also, if you have your hatch loaded with gear, you'll want to trim back. It just allows you to manage the weight of the boat so it paddles better for you. It's also super easy to go from the high and low position. So if I want to have more visibility, or if I want to get down if I'm in heavy moving water or strong winds, it's very simple to change it from high to low. With the seat out, you can see the back half of the rod stager system. Now I know there's 2 holes up front, there's 3 here. If you're careful, it's really easy to put 3 rods on both sides, so you can bungee 6 in on your cockpit as well. This comes on the NAR and the Coosa X. It also comes with a 90-degree bracket that allows you to mount it to the flat track system so you can fully customize where you need it to be in the boat. For me, it's helpful to put it back in the tank well where I can actually run a 9-foot fly rod in there. So I can have a 9-foot fly rod on both sides of my seat. It's a really neat customizable system. Here underneath the seating area, you can see the transducer scupper, which is extra large and was made to accommodate most manufacturers' transducers. It also comes with a cover to protect it Going fore and aft, you can see the pad eyes, which are going to allow you to secure your transducer wiring depending on which end you want to put your battery in. Coming back from the seating area, you see you have two 12-inch flat tracks, as well as a tri-track in the middle. This also acts as a thwart for rigidity, but it gives you endless mounting opportunities in this area. You have two flush mount rod holders, and then moving into this expansive tank well, you have another pair of 12-inch tracks on both sides with these cutouts, which allows you to run a strap below and going over any load that you have back here if you want to hold it in there. You see the 90-degree adapters that we have. This is how I set this up for the fly rod to come all the way to the back. But it's just really good, allows you to customize it however you want it to go, whether you want it to go to the tri-track or stay on the flat track. In the very back, you've got an 8-inch hatch, and that way you can get in there for wiring accessories, anchoring accessories, anything you need to in this back area. You see the molded in geometry on both sides, as well as this pad eye allows you to run a drag anchor off the back, as well as this area here, which has the inserts for putting in a power pole or a rear mounted motor system. You've got a super comfortable handle for picking up after a long day fishing. Underneath the Coosa X, you'll see the replaceable skid plate, and then up top, you'll see the drain plate.